We are so pleased to have on Town Talk today Deborah Wall, who is the library director for the town of Pembroke. Welcome, Deb.
Thank you, Julie. I am very glad to be here.
And I'm glad to have you. Libraries are amazing institutions, and they've changed dramatically over the years. Right now, what is the library director responsible for?
In our particular library, quite a bit. I order most of the adult books. I watch the budget. I prepare the budget, working with the Board of Trustees. I help manage the staff. We've got 7 full-time people, counting myself, and we've got about 18 part-time people. Wow. So usually I have a lot of balls in the air.
Yeah.
I write grants. I'm right now writing a grant that we hope we'll get for next year.
Yep.
And that's, pretty much, yep.
And you do all the programs, or you oversee?
I do some of the adult programs. Yep. My adults librarian does some of the other adult programs, and Melissa, the youth services librarian, does the youth and the teen programs.
Okay. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is all the other things that libraries do. You put out a year in review last year, which I found absolutely stunning. There were 103,000 visits to the library with over 3,000 hours you were open.
Yes.
That is a huge amount of people that walk through your door.
And actually, that could be a little conservative. We have a body counter at the main door. So people can come in and out another door. So we lose. So that is a fair estimate, but it could be a little low.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're busy. We're busy. There were 400 people visited the library just yesterday.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. Just yesterday.
We'll get into that in 1 second.
Yes.
So you have 51 volunteers last year that accounted for 711 volunteer hours.
Yes.
That's huge.
Most of those are teen. And some of them are doing community service. A lot of them are doing their school community service that they have to do for school. And they help with a lot of the programs. And they do bulletin boards. And they're very helpful. They're great.
So you're referring to the community service hours that every student that graduates from Pembroke High School has to perform. I think it's 40 community service hours.
During the years,
And these count?
Yes.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
You had 476 group meeting room usage. So your meeting room, which is your main meeting room, which you can go in the separate entrance for.
Yes.
You had 476 entities or groups use that?
That is between the 2 rooms because we have the big room, of course, and then we have the smaller, what we call the trustees room, which we can have meetings up to 12 people get really cozy in that room.
8 to 10 is more reasonable.
It really is. Okay. And then, so that's a combined group.
Okay, but that's more than there are days in a year.
Yes.
And then some.
I think I'd be pretty safe to say there is never a day when there's not something going
planned.
On in one of the rooms.
132,000 times materials were checked out.
Yes.
So materials are no longer just books.
Correct.
What else can people check out?
They are DVDs, and it always surprises me that people still don't know libraries have DVDs, but we do, although that's slightly diminishing because people are streaming.
Yeah.
But we have DVDs, we have CDs, also diminishing a little bit because people stream.
Yeah.
We've got magazines, and we've got lots and lots of books. We've got audiobooks. We've got kits. We've got, like binoculars. We've got a telescope. We've got a wide range of various things.
Right. So you have things that people can take out.
Yes.
You also allow people to download.
Yes.
Now, so if I go on the library website, is that where I download?
Yes.
Okay, and I can download an ebook?
Yes.
An audiobook?
Yes. We also have a newer program, all right, this is mostly Libby and Overdrive.
What is Libby and Overdrive?
Libby and Overdrive is a third-party company that we license materials from.
Okay.
So with your library card, you go on and you download ebooks and audiobooks. We now subscribe to a product called Hoopla, which is very similar in that you get ebooks and audiobooks, but they have magazines, and actually Overdrive has magazines now too, but they've got magazines, they've got video, they've got music. So Hoopla is a broader
And these are
product.
all free?
They're free to you, yes.
If you have a library card?
With a library card, correct.
Wow,
correct.
Okay. You now do passport applications.
We do.
You did 650 of them last year.
Yes.
Tell me about that process really quickly.
Well, we started that a year ago, December. And so what people need to do is, we don't do renewals.
Okay.
But the staff does spend time with people going over the renewal
How to
process
do it.
if they need to.
Okay.
So this is
First time
passport,
or
long time expired.
Okay.
Passport, yes. And You can call and make an appointment, and the person on the phone will go over the process with you.
Yeah, what you have to bring,
What you have
need,
to bring, and all the requirements.
Picture,
Yeah,
you don't take the pictures there.
We do not
Okay.
yet. We do
That's
not.
coming, I bet.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So everybody helps you with the process. So when you come in, you're ready.
Yeah.
And then one of the passport acceptance agents, and we've got several, they will go into the room with you, and they'll go through everything.
Yeah.
They'll review the form,
Right.
and then we mail it. We mail
Right,
it in.
you mail it in for them.
We mail it in.
So since this is a very, it's a technical process,
Yes.
do you have to be licensed or?
They
you
have to
do?
be trained.
Trained, okay.
They have
So
to
there's
be
special training for that.
There's special training. So only several, not all of my staff are trained.
Sure, okay.
I think we have 7
Okay.
passport acceptance agents.
You have over 14,000 people that have a library card for,
Yes.
for Pembroke.
Yes. Yeah. And over 12,000 of those are Pembroke residents.
Wow.
Yeah.
So non-residents can have a Pembroke library card too?
Most of those are like Hanson and Halifax.
Yep,
But
they're
most
close by?
They're close by.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
You had 9,941 public computer sessions. How do you define that?
Well, first of all, I think people find that interesting because people think everybody has a computer at home.
Right.
It's not true.
Right.
It's not true in Pembroke. It's not true in almost any community. And so people come into the library and they log in
Yeah.
with their library card, or they can get a guest pass
Yeah.
if they don't have the card. And they do whatever they need to
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
on the computer. And that's what we count. That's all we
Okay.
count is
Okay.
when they log in.
Wow. So, are there certain places you can't? There's blocked sites and things like that at a library, I would think.
Most libraries.
Okay.
Most libraries.
Okay,
do
but
some.
mostly you can do almost anything you need to do that
pretty
you
much
could do from
everything.
home.
Yes.
Okay, you could
yes.
do there.
We ask people to be community aware.
Okay, which is fair.
Yes.
Now you also have a robust social media presence.
Yes.
And you have 2,179 social media followers, so they've liked you and they follow you.
Yes.
Which is wonderful. And do you find that that's where really people get most of their information about what's going on at the library?
I think a lot of people do. I think most of our attendees actually get it from being in the library.
Okay.
The more you use the library,
Yeah.
the more you see what's going on. And I actually brought some samples. Every month my staff does some really pretty calendars, both adult and
Yep. And youth.
And youth.
Yep.
And so they pick them up. This is probably the number one way.
Okay.
We have flyers, we have
Sure.
posters
Yep.
of things going on.
And
And,
you-
then, yes, absolutely. we
Your
get a lot.
website, you had almost 100,000 website views.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
people are going
Get
there
the
to
information
find,
there
yeah.
because we have a calendar
Yep.
there too of all the events coming
Yeah.
up.
Now, you're not only the library director, you're also the town webmaster?
I am one.
One
yes.
of them,
Myself
okay.
and someone else
Okay,
manages it.
so you
yes.
also will post things for the town?
Yes.
Okay.
I do the social media for the town though.
Okay, you do.
Pretty much most of
Okay,
it.
all right.
Yeah.
So libraries overall have changed dramatically in the last 20, 25 years.
Yes.
You offer, for example, some of the programs, can you just give me an example of 5 or 6 programs in the last couple of months that you've offered?
Oh heavens! Past programs, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, somewhat of an ordinary one, but was extraordinary to us. Stephanie, our adult librarian, has started a Monday matinee movie,
Yes.
which has grown so crazy popular. It's
How
amazing.
many people come
There
to
were
this?
59 people yesterday.
That showed to Monday matinee
So
movie.
showed up a Monday matinee.
And you have it in the big conference
in the
room?
big conference room. 59 people. It was the story of Mr. Rogers.
Oh, that movie,
So
yeah.
it was very popular
Yep.
and everybody loved it.
Yep.
So that's a huge program for us.
Right.
And
now, do you have to pay royalties to show that movie?
we
How
have
does
a
that
movie
work?
license.
Oh, you do?
Every year we actually have 2 movie licenses and a music license. The music license covers actually the whole town, which I didn't know when I signed up for it. But the movie license is just for us.
For you, okay. And now you have a lot of things for kids.
Yes.
Give me some examples of the programs you run for kids.
Oh, let's see. Well, we have story time on Monday and Tuesday. On Wednesday Wednesday morning we have Baby Lapsit, which is
Yeah.
for the little ones, which
Yeah.
is really almost more for the parents because
Yeah.
it shows them how to interact.
Yeah.
We've got a very popular Lego club
Yeah.
that is mixed and it's
Yeah.
great, and the kids have a
Yeah.
lot of fun with.
Right.
We have. Melissa is working on developing a lot of teen programs.
Yeah.
Like she's just started,
Yeah.
what is she calling it? Let's see. She's calling it the Teen Puzzle Race.
Oh, yeah, I saw
So
that.
what they do is
Yeah.
we're collecting 100 and 200 piece puzzles,
Yeah.
and the teens start them at the same time.
Oh, sure. See who
You know?
finishes it the first.
So we're trying to engage
That's
and
cool.
find different
Yeah.
things for them to do.
Now, libraries also, you have a reference librarian who
do.
I was astounded when I found out all the things that your reference librarian does. Can you give a few examples of why I would go visit your reference librarian?
I would say right now genealogy. She has started a very popular genealogy club.
Okay.
And they meet once a month, and she brings genealogy resources. She brings genealogy speakers. She shows people how to use Ancestry, which we have available in the library. So that's huge.
Yeah.
And she will do individual research for people if someone
Right.
wants to find an obituary from
Right.
16.
Right.
Not 16, obviously, but
Right.
for 1910. We
But
can
almost
try to find which one.
anything that you want researched,
Yes.
and you don't know where to start,
Yep.
and Google didn't help you,
Start with her.
you can start with her.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you're having trouble with your device, if your iPads won't connect for some reason, she'll
Yeah.
help you with that. If you've never had an iPad before, she'll help you set it up.
Wow.
Email, she helps a lot of people set up their email
Yeah.
because, again, still in Pembroke, not everybody has
Right.
email.
Now, my last question before we talk about
Yeah.
town meeting and a couple warrants is, do you piggyback with the recreation department, with the council on aging, with the school department? How do you have so many things that kind of cross all generations.
Right.
How do you
Well,
do?
well, with the school, we do partner in some regards with Melissa will go visit the schools.
Okay.
She visits a lot of the schools,
Yep.
particularly the elementary schools, but she is starting to visit the middle school as well.
Yep.
So she does that. We use their broadcast email to reach out to parents.
Sure.
I mentioned the community service. We work with the kids
Yep.
to do the community service.
That's the high school kids, yeah.
And she works with the Honor Society to do some programs. We have a new council on aging
Aging, yep,
director.
yep.
And Gretchen's
Gretchen,
off,
yep.
awesome. And we've
Yep.
already had multiple discussions. One of them, we're going to partner on the grant I'm working on. She's going to collaborate with me on that a little bit. And we were talking briefly today about trying to work on a homebound book delivery program,
Great.
which I've mentioned a few other times
Yeah,
in the past, but
that's
I
a
think
great
that
idea.
this will actually happen.
okay.
So we do try to collaborate with
Yes.
others. Yes,
Because all for one and one for all.
absolutely.
Okay. Now, there's two articles that are coming up at the town meeting.
There is.
Can you talk about them and what they're for?
Okay. They are very similar, and that they started because of the state's initiative to raise the minimum wage.
Okay.
Over a period of years, the state is bumping up the minimum wage, which I believe the target is going to be $15.
Eventually, yeah.
Eventually.
Yep.
So in January, it went up 75 cents.
Yep.
This triggered our page line, which is our first entry level. These
Yep.
are the people that we rely on to put the materials on the shelf.
Yep.
In order and in a timely fashion. We
Yep.
really need them. If it's not in the right place, it might as well not be there.
Right.
But they're now getting paid under minimum wage, under the state minimum wage. So we didn't think that was a good idea, and certainly not.
Doesn't seem really fair.
Yeah, exactly. So these articles, they address that.
Okay.
There's two of them. One will be in the special because it's addressing this current year.
Okay.
So what this article does is it lists the page levels, and there's 3 tiers for the
Yep.
page, and then bumps them up 75 cents
Okay. Per hour.
per hour. This will be a little bit over minimum, but they were over minimum before, so
Okay.
I just don't see that they should lose ground. The other part of the article, the next tier, and we have talked about these people, are our library aides. We got 18 of them, and they are the first line of defense. They're
Yep.
the people that answer the phone for
Yep.
you and help you look
Tell
up
you where
books.
to
and
go for
tell
everything
you where
you
your
need.
books.
Yep.
They do everything. They're passport agents.
Yep.
They do our bulletin boards.
Yep.
They are unbelievably, we need them.
Yes.
We work on them.
Yep.
So it's fair that they maintain parity with the entry-level position. Meaning, if there's a $4 difference an hour, there needs to stay a $4 difference an hour. And if the minimum goes up and we don't bump them up as well,
Sure.
they lose parity.
Sure.
So there are actually 2 positions listed on the article, and that is why.
Okay.
So one article, as I said, is for the special because it's addressing this year.
Yep.
And the library is not asking for money to do that. We knew this was coming,
Yeah.
so we've been somewhat conservative, and we believe we can cover this, paying them retroactively. The second article, which will be in the regular fall town meeting, part of the meeting, builds on the first article. So it starts with the presupposition
Yeah.
that first article passed.
Passes. Yeah.
And then it talks about that will be the rate from July 1st to
Yep.
December 30th. And then, oh, by the way, it's happening again January 1st.
The minimum wage is going up again.
So we
Yep.
do it again from
Yep.
January 1st.
Yep.
To,
So you just want to build that in for the whole year. So you're looking at the entire year.
yes.
Yep.
And that we are asking for money for because it is an entire length of year and that we could not absorb.
Okay.
Yes.
And the people that work at the library, as well as all the people that work for the town, they're all listed in
Yes.
exactly what grade level it is, how much money they make, so anyone can see any
Yes.
in comparisons.
Correct.
Okay, and
Correct.
you will get up and make your case for that.
I will.
And I think your numbers will help you make your case for that. I
Hope
would
so.
think. Yeah. So, Deb Wall, the library director for the town of Pembroke, thank you so much for your service, for everything that you offer the town, and we'll have you back
welcome.
again.
Thanks. Great. Thanks for having me.
This has been Town Talk.